Chat. We're gonna start this here off not happy, okay? I'm having a problem with the cornhole here. It's gotta be even. Let's flip it up a little bit. There we go. It's like I'm being birthed out of the cornhole. Okay? Everything's a little tight in here tonight. I gotta figure this out. It's not doing well. Just like this isn't doing well, neither is Blaire White's brain. Blaire White is probably the of all the brains, like if you were to take humanity's brains, all of them at the same time and just cut everybody's the top of their skull off, take all brains out and line them up in a line, okay? From left to right. And on the left side, you'd have the roundest, plumpest brains, and on the right side, you'd have the flattest brains. Blaire White would be at the very end of the flat brain part of the line. She is the dumbest of all the internet pundits. She is the dumbest one. She's not the smart one. She's the dumbest, and it's a problem because she hurts the trans community. So let's go ahead and watch the truth about Trump and the trans community from everyone's favorite dumb Blaire White. I mean, she is just God. I can't get over how fucking dumb she is. This is probably going to have several problems. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that none of the things she says are true. Or she just fundamentally misunderstands them. You ready for this? That's my lock of the week, okay? You can bet on this one. It's a safe bet. It's not a brave bet. But get ready. I'm sure this is dog shit.
And the trans community. I really want to get into how Trump, I would imagine, and I speculate how he actually feels about transgender people. I'll get into that. But first, we're going to get into what has been really frustrating for me the entire presidency, which has been, I feel like transgenderism by both sides has been used as a political football whenever it's convenient. And I stand by what I have always said, which is that transgenderism is not to be politicized. It is to be medicalized. It is to be treated as a medical issue.
That's a political opinion, Blaire. We're not supposed to do politics about the thing that is obviously going to be a political issue. And here's my political opinion on how not to be a political person. You're so stupid. It's not a political issue. It's a medical issue. That's literally a political position. How? How are you so... just saying words like that, saying, we shouldn't politicize it. You're automatically politicizing it when you say that. Old school AJ, thanks so much for the prime. I appreciate you. It's just... it doesn't make any intellectual sense whatsoever.
Not a political talking point. So you can imagine the past 4 years have been a little bit frustrating for me. What I've noticed since 2016 is that every 6 months or so, there's some new, very scary sounding, very shocking trans headline. And it is always something to the...
Okay. Controversial Trump administration ban on transgender troops. Trump administration erases transgender civil rights. Okay. Defined out of existence. HRC responds to attack transgender. Okay.
Effect of all of our rights are being stripped, our lives are in danger, and the trans community, like I said, every 6 months because of these stories just goes into complete hysteria and panic mode. And it actually started with the election itself.
Okay.
On the day of the election, there was a story ran that after he won, it was either 8 or 10 transgender children committed suicide. Huge trans influencers like Gigi Gorgeous and really every single other one made videos about it, ran with it like it was true. 8 transgender kids had committed suicide. I was, like, my stomach, I just got goosebumps. Like, my stomach turned. And it was actually scary even for me. The trans community was rightfully horrified because obviously if that were true, that's an insane, horrible tragedy. The problem is that it was 1,000% false. It was so false that GLAAD had to come out a few days later and say that we shouldn't be spreading that because it's completely unverified and
It's 100,000% true. That irritates me. I don't know. I feel like this. Surprise! I feel like this actually is true. I feel like she's saying a true thing right now. The thing is, she always does. She'll take the opposite of this. Like, there might be an article where all trans people love Donald Trump, and she'd run with that before like it got verified. And if it got verified that she was wrong, she wouldn't correct it. You know what I'm saying? I had to comfort trans people on that day as well, and I'll have to again on November 4th if it goes against everything we think is going to happen. Trans Trump. Okay, let's see. Okay, so what actually happened, it seems, yet again, she's not really giving you the whole story. It seems the U.S. crisis hotline surged from LGBTQ people after Trump win. So, I mean, the crisis hotlines were going absolutely bananas. That's true. More than 95% of the people who called us last week mentioned their fears about the election. Yeah. Okay, so the crisis hotlines went absolutely bananas. I wouldn't be surprised if there were issues with so these are the suicide hotlines. So the suicide hotlines went absolutely crazy. She doesn't talk about that. So I don't know about the 8 people that killed themselves. I think that was actually not the right number. However, it could be. I don't know. She doesn't really, she doesn't like put the sources down here. You kind of got to find this shit. When did potato heads make a comeback, and why are they making it talk? I don't know.
Completely untrue. In fact, it was one verified Twitter user that said it and said they had a private source confirming it, and suddenly it was being reported as fact. So to me, that was the beginning of the politicization of trans issues in the last 4 years.
That was the beginning of the politicization of trans issues? What? You came out of 2015, 2014 as one of the good transes, according to right-wing grifters. What are you talking about? Like her whole career is literally this grift. Okay.
That right there in the beginning. So let's jump forward to 2017, the Trump military ban.
Okay.
Trans military ban. So this was the beginning of actual policy decisions being made by the administration about trans people. I understand the argument in which it is not ideal for trans people to serve in certain capacities. The front lines, very specific example. I think the reliance on trans-specific medication, hormones obviously, and the fact that often they are placed in countries where they're very vulnerable because they are trans. Like, think about, I don't know, like me fighting in Iran. Like what? Like, obviously in countries where it's illegal or dangerous, that can compromise the effectiveness of certain operations by having a trans person in the mix.
What are you talking about? That'd be exactly the same thing as saying, well, you can't have gay people in the military because in some countries where we fight wars, it's illegal to be gay. Do we give a shit when we're fucking shooting each other in the face with guns? Oh yeah. You're gonna go to fucking Kazakhstan. Is it illegal to be trans in Kazakhstan? I don't know. You're gonna go to one of the illegal countries where you can't be trans. I don't know where that is, but it exists. Saudi Arabia, maybe. I don't know. Actually, aren't they the ones that like they force that, and it's not so bad as long as you're forced to trans? I don't remember. Anyway, the thing they're gonna clock somebody and be like, there's a trans person. I'm gonna extra shoot them now. You're an enemy combatant, Iran. Yeah, I don't remember. The Iran forces people to be trans. Yeah, it's fucked up. So this is the least cogent point you could make on all of this. What if it's illegal where the troops go? Did you know that usually when we occupy a fucking country, the whole thing is illegal? Do you know it's not usually legal to fucking be a soldier in a country and shoot at people that live there? That's not legal. That's not on the books. You know how the Constitution writes, well, if someone invades us, they get to shoot us. Like, what? Unless they're transes. Fucking dumb. She's so fucking stupid.
I did feel, however, that banning them under any and every capacity, we're talking cooks, we're talking medics and doctors and, coders. Like, there are a lot of positions in the military that are not directly on the front lines fighting. In fact,
medics? What?
The overwhelming majority of them are not. And I just can't
I agree the overwhelming majority of military jobs are not frontline soldiers.
think of a reason why a trans person couldn't be like a cook. Or if they're a talented nurse, Having said all that, there is something to be said for the fact that the military denies people joining for a lot of reasons, and a lot of those reasons may even seem silly. Like, if you have even the slightest bit of anxiety, you cannot be in the military.
Everyone in the military has anxiety. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's not a lot of people in the military that don't have a mental health issue. What are you talking about? I can't be in the military also because I'm on antidepressants. It's like a no medication thing. Is the military no med stuff? I'm dumb on this stuff. There's different places, and this is a broad spectrum military ban. This isn't one branch of the military. So each branch of the military has their own rules. What can prevent you from joining the military? Let's see. Military enlistment standards. Let's just look. Thanks, Hawk, for following. Minimum age requirement, military service, blah, blah, blah. Credit and finances. If you have unpaid loans or have a history of bad credit, you could not be able to be. So if you're poor, but different kind of poor, bad credit poor. Hyperion, thanks for following. Bone Spurs, yeah. Serving as a single parent, applicants married to active military members. Education requirements is a GED. Drug or alcohol use. I'm telling you, I smoke enough weed to, I'm not going. Criminal history, okay? Height and weight standards. 60 and 80 inches tall. I know for a specific case, David Robinson, a basketball player who's named the Admiral, he couldn't... he was in the Navy, but he couldn't fly because he was too tall. And he couldn't do some other stuff because he was too tall, but they allowed him to be part of it anyway and play on the basketball team. Too fat to join. There are medical conditions. You can't have a contagious disease. Can't have a bunch of treatment. You just got to be able to complete training, perform duties that so you can't have nagging injuries. A military medical professional at MEPS. What to expect on your MEPS? It doesn't say anything about anxiety. Let's see. Some medical issues. I feel like anxiety would be right at the tippy top, right? Back sprains? Been there. That fucking sucks. Allergies, skin diseases, counseling. Wait. If you seek out counseling, that's bad? Wow. Any history of asthma? No wonder there's a fucking part of a stigma. Tumors, hernia, stuff like that. Hepatitis, mono. Okay. Job, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I don't know. Doesn't say anything about anxiety. If you seek counseling, they have to do a fucking report on you. Okay.
If you have not great eyesight, you cannot be in the military.
That's not true.
If you have gauges in your ears, tattoos.
Oh, unless she means blind, but she said not great. They allow glasses and they'll let you get LASIK and stuff. They'll fix your eyes.
In certain places, if you are overweight, depression, OCD.
It depends on how overweight you are. If you're an 18-year-old with some chub on you, they expect that so that they can crush it when you do other stuff. But they're not going to take someone like Boogie and turn him into a fucking killing machine.
None of those things you can join the military with. They will deny you. And so to me, thinking,
which part of the military? A lot of military members have tattoos. What are they talking about? What is happening here?
I understand how crippling gender dysphoria is. So I actually do understand the argument that would be something that would hurt the effectiveness of people in the military. So, I feel like if someone were to pay me to debate both sides, like, Blaire, here's, I don't know, $500, like, debate why trans people should be allowed in the military indefinitely, I could do that.
I don't think you could. I don't think she could debate any of her positions.
If someone was like, Blaire, here's $500 to debate why they should never be in, I would do that too. It's very much a gray area of a topic. But honestly, I felt like it was way too sweeping, like I said. So let's jump to early 20.
Okay, so she's incapable of finding a way for Donald Trump to wiggle out of that's fucked up. But instead of being like, this is really bad, she just goes, this is too broad sweeping. Okay. Doesn't have the fucking integrity to call it dog shit.
2018, the next big trans headline was that Trump was forcing the CDC to ban the word transgender from any and all documents. There are other words allegedly being banned, but this is obviously about the trans stuff. This was completely fake. Like 110% fake. This did not happen. CNN has come out and said this did not happen, but
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. So there is no ban on words of the CDC. Okay. Let's read this article then. There's no ban on the words at CDC. This is the same one from Slate. You can tell because of the science thing. There it is, the same. But you don't need to parse the language because she kept that in. You don't need to parse the language of the Trump administration to understand its goals. So that's interesting to me. Why is she not talking about the rest of this then? Why would she leave this in? Why would she leave that in? That's very strange. On Friday, the Washington Post reported that the Trump administration had banned certain scientific words from use at the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, according to an unnamed, outraged CDC source. Higher-ups instructed staffers to avoid 7 phrases in budget documents, and these are the 7 phrases: vulnerable, entitlement, diversity, transgender, fetus, evidence-based, and science-based. In the days since, editorials have likened this censorship to China, Cuba, and Belarus, to Polish laws prohibiting certain language to describe the Holocaust, and to the totalitarian regime described in 1984. Follow-up reports said that the irrational and very dangerous policy on budget language might put millions of lives in danger with an astonishing attack of reality-based medical treatment. But if reality is indeed in danger here, it's not because of Donald Trump. The story of the language rules of the CDC has quickly broken free of underlying facts. Despite what you may have heard, the alleged ban of 7 words does not reveal a secret war on science carried out by thought police in Washington, nor is it some evil plot to enforce a political and ideological agenda, as the Washington Post editorial board suggested. A more sober measure of this soggy crumb of news is one that's well evidence-based rather than reflexive, suggests it should be understood as a byproduct of the Trump administration's much less secret war on science funding. It appears that the ban is an attempt by bureaucrats to save their favorite projects from unforgiving budget cuts. That's not a good thing. He didn't do a good thing here. What? If only you had read this. That's bad. Why? Jesus Christ. Holy fucking... This is not a good thing. By the way, more of this has to do with... when did this come out? December 21st of 2017. This is a while ago. More has since come out after that. This is so that they can avoid a lot of systemic issues in regards to your scientific discoveries and stuff. Like, you're getting rid of the words vulnerable, entitlement, diversity, transgender, fetus, evidence-based, and science-based. What they're trying to do, like, this doesn't help, for instance, I mean, COVID is a great example of how getting rid of words like this can very much affect poor communities and minority communities. So, I mean, good job. Good fucking job.
Yeah, it was a viral story that every trans influencer and every person that the trans community looks to as one of our defenders.
All you'd have to do is read the article,
and the
bro.
problem with running with fake stories is that the fake story will get a lot of attention up front.
It's not even fake. They just interpreted it in a way that implies that they're doing it for frivolous causes, like being a dick, when really the underlying issue is that it's an anti-science budgeting issue, which is worse.
But the correction will get maybe a tenth of the attention. So
what's the correction, Blaire?
I think there are probably a lot of people, maybe even some of you guys, let me know in the comments, who still think that the word transgender is banned from the CDC documents. No, it just never happened.
No, actually those words were banned. Wait, no, that article that she said didn't say the words weren't banned. They said they weren't banned because of being homophobic or whatever, or transphobic or what. No. They were still banned. Those words are not allowed in those documents. What are you talking about? Fucking dumb.
Ask CNN, ask anyone. Like, it didn't happen.
It did happen. The article that she thinks supports her, it says that they did the thing, but not for the reason you think.
Next up, jump to fall 2018. And this time, the big trans everyone be scared headline was that trans people would no longer exist under law. This one came right before midterms because I think if you really pay attention, you'll notice that the most salacious, fear-mongering stories, especially as it relates to certain minority groups, will always come around elections. We have Steph Signotti doing a video that got hundreds of thousands of views saying trans people will no longer exist. And the gist of it was that trans people would no longer be able to change their gender legally as it pertains to certain documents like birth certificates, driver's license, social security. All those are things that I changed before 2018, but I know an immense amount of people in all states
am I missing something?
have changed it since then. This literally just never happened. It just wasn't a thing.
Again, okay, so now I have to go back to the actual article. I don't even know what it was.
Jump to fall 2018. And
fall
this time,
2018.
the big trans everyone be scared headline was that trans people...
Transgender could be defined out of existence under Trump. Oh, well, I don't have... Transgender defined... existence by Trump. Okay, let's see. I don't have a New York Times thing. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, they want me to subscribe. I don't have it. What if I... Okay. It's so stupid that that's all it takes. Okay. Narrowly defined gender as biological musical. Oh, I know what this is. Okay, hold on 1 second. 1 second. I think I scrubbed forward and I think I saw. Yeah, I think she's going to continue to talk about it. Here we go. Hold on.
Very sad. And the problem is that every single time that one of these stories comes out saying that it's the end of trans people, right? Like, I'll know it comes out because my DM is just flooded with young trans people scared and asking me for help and guidance and saying, like, can you please help? Like, it really does set the community into an emotional uproar. It does. So let's jump to something recent. Last month, Pride Month, you might have seen
this is the same thing, by the way.
And the new headline was that Trump was removing all health care for all trans people.
That is not what that says. Okay, so here's the thing. That thing was what I thought she was going to say when I scrubbed forward. The thing that I just closed is literally the same thing, except the policy is... She's talking about two separate events about the same policy, and she doesn't realize it. Trump administration erases transgender civil rights protections in healthcare. So she read this. She didn't read the article, and she said people are thinking that Trump is just going to destroy healthcare for trans people. No. This is actually what happened. Transgender health protections reversed by Trump administration. She's going to talk some dog shit here, and we're going to talk about this in just a second. Look at this. The Trump administration Friday finalized a rule that would remove non-discrimination protections for LGBTQ people when it comes to healthcare and health insurance. Non-discrimination protections. Oh, look, civil rights protections. Non-discrimination protections. So, it is one of many rules and regulations put forward by the Trump administration that defines sex discrimination as only applying when someone faces discrimination for being female or male, and does not protect people from discrimination based on basis of sexual orientation or gender identity. Okay, so some of the problems that you can come up with here is you could a trans man, for instance, might have ovarian cysts or something, and you could deny him medical care because he has ovaries and is a man, right? That's not sex-based discrimination. It's gender-based. They're allowing that. That's what this means. This does not mean, oh, they're getting rid of health care for trans people. She is just not capable of think. She's incapable of the think.
All healthcare for all trans people.
No.
That was the big thing.
No, that wasn't the thing. Nobody said that.
Right. So this hit during Pride Month. And not just any Pride Month. It hit during, obviously, June, and even now, July, about to be August. It's a very emotionally heightened time as it pertains to social issues, everything happening in the world, obviously. Like, this type of headline is going to really set people off.
It's not the headline, because you didn't read the fucking article, you dum-dum. The headline's gonna set people off because you read it wrong. No one was like, oh, they're taking healthcare from trans people. Believe me, we talk about this all the time. That didn't come up in June, chat. What did was this, where they got rid of the protections for trans people. Like, what?
The problem is that, again, this didn't happen. I debunked it in an article in the Post Millennial. You can go read that and get every single detail.
Holy shit. Overturned Obama era. It did. No, ruled in court before Trump was even president. No, this is not true. It happened in June, on June 12th, 2020, not before. And it was updated on 7/29 that day. Finalized on Friday, a rule. They finalized it. It was because it was part of, by the way, surprise, did you know that the protection on LGBTQ people, specifically the protections about gender identity and sexual orientation, those were put in by the Affordable Care Act? Those were Affordable Care Act provisions within the law that says that you cannot deny someone if they're trans or if they're gay or whatever. Like, that's what that was. And so attacking the ACA, the Trump administration, this was not before Donald Trump was in office. This is not the case. Blaire, you're wrong. The case was that it was finalized this year that they could remove that provision. You fool. God, she's stupid.
But the long and short of it is that these protections that were supposedly being repealed that protected trans people were never actually set in place. They were actually proposed and then struck down before Trump ever took office.
No, they were aspects of the ACA. What? It was a sad place during the Obama administration. I can't even. Okay.
Like, this isn't even a defense of Trump. This isn't even a defense of anything. This is just literally the media emotionally manipulating trans people and people who care about trans people.
No, it isn't.
Into thinking something is happening when it's really not. These protections were struck down in court before he was president. How can he repeal something that never was put in place? It doesn't make sense.
It's not called a repeal. It's just removing non-discrimination protections from an aspect of the ACA. Okay, I'll just read it to you. I'll read it to you. The rule focuses on non-discrimination protections laid out in Section 1557 of the Affordable Care Act. The federal law established that it is illegal to discriminate on the basis of race, color, national origin, sex, age, or disability in certain health programs and activities. In 2016, an Obama-era rule explained the protections regarding sex encompassed those based on gender identity, which it defined as male, female, neither, or a combination of male and female. And then the Trump administration went on to deny that. It was a thing. It was a thing in the ACA. If only you had read literally anything about this. It took me 2 seconds to find this article. 2 seconds.
But it was too perfect of a storm to come out during Pride Month. One of the craziest Pride months ever, obviously, 2020.
Oh my God, dude.
And people were just not, and they might still not, be prepared to hear or ready to accept that.
E. Clark, just found out my girlfriend is true scum. How do I convince her that she's wrong? Dump her and find someone better. Your girlfriend sucks. Fucking your girlfriend is dog shit. Dump her. Facts. That's my advice.
That wasn't the whole truth. Or really, that wasn't the truth at all. Healthcare, as it pertains to trans people, is exactly the same as it was last year, the year before that, the year before that. But once again, the emotions of the trans community and the people who care about us and the clicks that we provide is just way too great for the media to pass up. Doesn't really matter if it's not true. They're still going to run with it. And it sucks.
You literally do that. You're the person that does the thing. What? Blaire is the person that sensationalizes trans stories incorrectly for clicks. She's literally a grifter. Why? Why is this the way it is? If only it wasn't this way.
So let's get into how Trump feels about trans people. Now, anyone can only speculate. Like, no one knows how someone really feels, right? My gut.
Oh, Jesus.
And everything I've seen over the past 4 years, which, keep in mind, I am very plugged into trans issues, obviously. Okay. Gut instinct. Her gut instinct on Donald Trump. Here it is. Here's my guess. Chat. For 50,000 subs in chat, okay? They didn't give me a straw from a bevy. Actually, make it 26. Make it 26 subs. 26 subs. Here we go. 50,000 subs, $400,000. Here we go. Here's the bet. He's just an old man. He doesn't understand stuff. He's just an innocent old man. He doesn't hate us. He just doesn't understand. He doesn't know why he does the things. Nick Snort, thank you for starting off the 50,000 sub bomb. I appreciate it. Letitia, thanks for following. He just doesn't know any better. Please, God, let me be wrong. Smite me down if I am incorrect. Oh. It's my career. It's my life. Like, I've watched every news story coming out about trans people since he took office.
Okay.
My gut is that he probably doesn't really know what transgenderism is.
What? Fucking called it, brother. I watch too much fucking Blaire White, bro. Drop it. Woo. Oh, man. Wow. What a fucking dum-dum. The Ben Shapiro defense. He's too stupid. He doesn't know. Babe Ruth's called shot 1932 call. Did you fucking look that up? Did you look up when Babe Ruth called the shot? 32. You did, didn't you? Why did you get rid of the big brain emote? True. I should have just kept it. Should have kept the big brain emote. God damn it. All right. Where's my 50? Where's my 50K, chat? Where's my 50K?
At least not to the extent for which it exists in 2020.
Oh, yeah.
What people think of it now.
Oh, he used to understand it, but he doesn't understand it now. It's just got the lefties are too crazy.
What likely is the case is that transgenderism is such a culture war hot button issue that I feel that the instance of like the trans military ban, I feel like he could have won his whole presidency without doing that and none of his base would have complained. But it was red meat to the segment of his base that maybe does feel a certain way about trans people. And so I feel that he did that partly, at least, because it gave his base something that they can say, oh, good job on.
Your defense of transphobia is, well, some people like transphobia, so I can't blame him. Blaire, you're trans. You should stop it. You should not. No, don't put up with transphobia. You're a trans person. No, there is not an acceptable level of bigotry in regards to your innate existence, you fucking dum-dum. Ah! 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 Why? Why, Blaire? Why? This is...
I don't think he had to do that. I feel like it was unnecessary, 110%. Like, call me pessimistic,
It's unnecessary, but I totally excuse it.
but I really don't feel that those
Hey, where's my 50,000? What the hell happened?
in the media and in politics have like a true, like, genuine care, and that includes Trump, like a genuine care about the trans issue. I think for most people, whether it be Trump, whether it be the media, whether it be all the talking heads and figureheads that are coming up in your mind right now, I think it's just one of those things that is simply another issue to battle on and virtue signal about.
Oh my fucking God. So don't politicize trans rights unless you are Trump and want to politicize trans rights. True! He understood it back when it was simpler, you know, before trans people actually wanted to do things with their lives, like serve their country or play a sport, and before the non-binary nation attacked. Are they like the Fire Nation? NBs, you have fire powers now. Best I can do is 50 bits. Even my dead dad cash doesn't go that far. Well, I accept. Thank you. Thanks for paying up. Thanks for paying up chat's debt, Bellum.
For both sides.
Eternally miffed with a prime. I appreciate you.
I think that Trump has
Hey, remember, if you got a prime, I'll take it.
a base that wants to be fed
Best
certain
emotes in the
lines
game.
about the transgender topic, and he will occasionally feed them that, and I think that that's really the extent of how he feels. I find that some people on the right have a misconception that transgenderism is an invention of the political left
What?
or a consequence of gender studies rather than a phenomenon that has been around for a very long time, if
Well, at least she has that correct.
not forever, and likely isn't going anywhere anytime soon, and it is real people. I think, like, in the minds of people who have never met a trans person, and like all they know is what they hear from the media and on social media, it's just like something invented by the left. It's just like a political thing. So I do feel that's probably how Trump feels. I do.
Paleo Boggs, thanks for following.
I mean, there really exists no interviews where Trump explicitly discusses transgender people. So
Well, yeah. Who on his base is going to be like, you know, I'm really concerned about trans issues, and I'd love to talk to you about that. There's no way. He's not accepting a conversation about that.
I don't really know how he feels, and I feel like everyone kind of wants me to know how he feels and talk about it, and I don't know. The military ban thing was shitty in a lot of ways. I understand it in other ways, but other than that, a lot of these headlines that come out turn out to not even be real. So I don't really know how to feel half the time. The other thing that I think is important to mention is that, you know, I care about trans issues, and if you're watching this as a supporter of mine, you probably care at least a little bit, unless you're, you know, subscribe to me for another reason. But I think sometimes when you care and you're invested deeply into an issue.
Wait, what does that mean? You care about trans issues unless you are unless you're subbed to me for a different reason? At first I thought she meant hate watching, but hate watchers would like trans issues. Fat followers? People that want to fap? Just people that want to fuck Blaire White in her pee-pee hole? That's how it works, right? That's how gay sex works. Pork you in your pork. Trump definitely would use some slurs in private if he was asked about trans people. 100%. You put the dicks inside each other. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I knew that. That's what I thought. It's called it's not so it's not docking, because docking is when you put the foreskin over the other one. So this is like, it's not sounding either, because it's not a foreign object. It's just another pee-pee. Let's call it fracking. It's not docking, because that's the foreskin. How do you know which penis will open to accept the other penis? You push them together, and one of you wins. One of you is the winner, and one of you is the loser. Okay, that's how it works. Just find out who. That's how you really find out which one's the top. Okay. Which one's considered the top? The one on the outside. Wait, the one on the inside. The one on the inside. The outside seems like bad. I feel like I don't want to be that one. If I got to pick, I'm going in the dick, not surrounding the other one. Anyway.
You your judgment is clouded as to the extent for which the entire world cares. And I also feel like trans issues in the grand scheme of the world are not like the most important thing. Like, they're important to me, don't get me wrong. And I think they should be more important to more people, but I don't know. I will.
Oh, God, it's just her privilege. Oh, God, it's just gross. Just so fucking gross. I'm a trans person, but, I mean, I'm rich. So fuck you. I got what I needed. Got what I needed out of this. Fuck you. What a fucking dum-dum. All right, Blaire White sucks. Blaire White sucks. That's the end of that video. Blaire White is dog shit. Even if Trump outlawed trans people altogether, Blaire would just take her money and move to Canada and then make a different video about why Trump still did nothing wrong. 100% grifter. True. Trans issues are not the most important thing. Blaire White, trans person. Fuck you, Blaire. Like, I mean, look, I could personally say, I think probably in the grand scheme of things, the most important issue is probably climate change, right? But that's not like a human rights issue insofar as, I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's just the most important. You can't have all the other stuff without the climate being livable. So, but other than that, like, I think most social issues are on par with each other. Like, I don't think trans issues or Black Lives Matter are more important than the other one necessarily. I can to steal a line from President Joseph Biden, who we're all very excited for. Yeah, I could walk and chew gum at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I think maybe social issues in general, I have time to fight for all of them. You know what I'm saying? I don't have this hang up with, well, I can only pick one. I got doggy treats in here still. I forgot I had doggy treats. It's hot in here. I'm gonna open this window. Ugh, or it's gonna be too heavy. Ah! Where did they go? Ah! Okay, I can't do it. Is it locked? Is it fucking locked? It's not locked. It's just super heavy, chat. It's just a really heavy window. It's just so warm in here. There we go. Oh, that's so much better. Show muscle. Don't cramp again. So last night, I believe it was just too much caffeine. I believe it was too much caffeine. I drank like a 2 big glasses of water after and stretched it out, and it was totally fine. But yeah, the window was very swole. Ooh, that feels so nice though. I think Sarah turned up the heat in here. Whew. Okay. So that there was Blaire White. Good for us. Wow. I am looking at this next video and I don't want to do it, but that's because I have to. Biden's pretty decent about trans issues. I made a joke, but Joe Biden's definitely who you should vote for if you haven't already, and who I will be voting for. Again, if you're a leftist and you're like, nah, two evils, you're fucking dumb. But you can be smarter. Because they're not the lesser of two evils. One of them wants to address climate change. The other one wants you to boil alive while billionaires pick your bones, like vultures in robot suits, because they'd have to come out into the boiling sun from their bunkers to pick your bones. But still, they want to. So, yeah, I just vote fucking blue. Let's fight the liberals. Let's stop fighting fascists. We can get a lot more done when the middle ground of our argument isn't do trans people deserve to exist. It's more like stop exploiting trans people for political points. You know what I mean? That's so much better. When you guys trans people, when you guys are getting like shitty Pepsi commercials that think like I don't know, like this is I'm predicting it now. Calling it now. You're gonna get a situation where when trans rights are like really, really solidly a thing in the country, there's gonna be some sort of landmark case or something that's gonna happen. A law is going to be passed. Something's gonna happen. Anyway, so trans issues are gonna be very popular for a little bit. Someone's gonna take their can of soda and they're going to make it like either a trans flag or they're just going to change it in some way. And their slogan is going to be something like Pepsi, whatever the outside looks like doesn't change the quality of what's inside, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna be tokenized, and you're gonna be exploited for capitalist gain. Oreos are gonna do something like that. Like it's gonna be something like the packaging is gonna be different, and the inside is gonna be the same, and it's gonna be or it'll be Dr. Pepper. I don't think so. Dr. Pepper is based. Okay, Dr. Pepper is still based. It's gonna be Pepsi likes to do this kind of stuff. It's gonna be someone like that, or Coke will do it like a Super Bowl commercial. It's happening. It's coming. And when that day comes, my friends, you will have achieved equality. Okay? When you are being exploited by capitalists, grossly in that way, that's when you made it. Okay? You did it. So, Jake, you don't get 2 Babe Ruth call-outs in one night. Oh, it's my job to Babe Ruth call out. It's my job. It'll be someone like Coke or Pepsi. If it's Dr. Pepper, I will buy Hannah a case of either of any soda you want. A whole case, like a 24 pack.